leaving Mohawk right now. Look, we got what we're doing is I'm an Uber driver for Hall of Famers now. Also,
third one ahead today. Fourth one.
Yeah. Oh my God, Billy needed a ride home now. Bill O'Donnell lives in the same town, not far. What? Wouldn't we? 5 minutes from me.
Yeah, just
4 or 5 minutes from me. So it shouldn't take you but 15 minutes to walk from my house.
I was going to ride the bike down here, but I looked at the thing's 22 kilometers.
Yeah.
I'll try to bum around.
So I'm going to drive Billy home here. He wanted to ride home after Unbeatable Kemp's race. I'll tell you one thing. When I left the Meadows, okay, for all you guys know, I'm going to beat that drum, but you guys know we qualified 15 at Northfield. I left exactly on time to get to the Meadows. I got to the Meadows at 2:53 for a 3:25 race of Tim Twaddle's horse. Now, they're running a little bit late. It wasn't as close as it sounds. And then 4:05 was the scheduled post time for Dustin Hanover. Now, you guys know that we had bought Dustin. He was making his second start for us, first start on Lasix. And I told everybody, when we got him, I was a little disappointed when I schooled him a couple of times. But, as I said to everybody, I think there's a horse in there. It's just going to take some time, The more weight we put on him, the better he's going to race. You thought I came right out underneath that guy, didn't you? I saw you looking in your mirror. There was tons of room. He didn't even flash me or beep his horn or anything.
No.
Well,
he hit his brakes. We couldn't see the brake
that's why they call those cars got braking systems.
That's why they put them
Every one of them are built with them now.
Yeah. Dangerous.
It's like riding with Dad now. So Dustin Hanover, I told everybody, it's just going to take some time, but I think there's a good horse in there. He raced adequate today. I thought he raced well. So we had the 9-hole. I drove all the way there to drive him. Coming out of the gate at the Meadows. No one's on the run in a maiden trot, which is rare, right? Oh, that's loud. Which is rare. And we had 2 spots, and you know where they were. One at the front and one at the back. There was no vacancy.
3. There's always 3. The asshole looking for a spot.
Yeah. So I knew there was 2 spots, or as Billy said, 3. 3 spots, front or back. I didn't drive 2 hours there to get away last. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I knew I could get away. Anyway, it worked out well. The horse raced good, finished 3rd. Now, when I left, I was a little worried. I had eaten at the track because I knew there was no time in between. When I left the Meadows, when I was pulling out of the driveway, I looked down. It was 4:39. Now, it's 5 hours to Mohawk usually, which means I'm not going to make the race. I made up a little time along the way. Mohawk was a hair late. I got there after the 6th, and I was in the 8th. So Dave let me go, no big deal. Go up and get changed. I'm sitting there, and Billy asked for a ride home. It's a good thing he asked to, because I would have been late for the post. Wouldn't that be nice now, late for the post grade? And Jonathan Drury says, you're not in the 9th. You're in the 8th, the next race. So I did run over and get my stuff on and go down to the horse. Now, I hadn't driven Unbeatable Kemp in a while. This colt was nice last year, but he was really hot, like really hot. And if you put him on the front, he'd pull up kind of on the front, right? You can come first over with him. But if you tripped him out, you had a pretty good kick on the end of it. He was a decent horse, and he had bled in Lexington. I told you that. So we took him back to Northfield Park, because the first time we just scoped him and he bled. The vet said, a little bit of mucus, whatever. So we brought him back to Northfield Park, put him in the maiden, treated him up, put him in the maiden, and I had every intention. It was a bad field, and I had every intention of just letting Billy Davis go and following him. And Billy Davis runs in the first turn. I'm left on the front end with this colt. And I don't know what get into him this night. He must have been reading the program. He runs off in 56 flat over Northfield Park. Scope him after, no blood. I'm like, the vet in Kentucky was right. No big deal. Take him back down to Kentucky. Scott Zeron raced him and he bleeds. We had to stop with him for the rest of the year. So, I hadn't driven him, I don't think, since last year, if I'm not mistaken. He was quiet tonight. But again, James has done such a good job. I joke about James, but James, he certainly didn't get it from me, but he's got a very smart way about the young horses, right? But old school mentality, I'm the type of guy where I just, when they come to the track, I want them to win, right? And James was a great fit for Unbeatable Kemp. If you go back and watch all his races, this horse was really, really tough on him a couple of times, and don't make no qualms about it. The reason he was good tonight is because of the work James put into him earlier on. There's no 2 ways about that. the horse was quiet, followed perfectly tonight. When I cut him loose coming out of the turn, he was all business right through the wire. Raced straight, a good mile from him. That was pretty muddy track. I don't know what the rest of the miles were like, but he went in 55 flat and off 3 weeks. So, raced really, really well. Now, I may have said, I don't know if James heard me, but there may have been some words said when I was going by him. He was on that horse and picked off him to drive the other horse, which is always great.
We were betting that you were saying something to him.
I might have whispered something to him when I was
and he expected it.
late in the stretch. So Unbeatable Kemp was great. To be honest, guys, we had a great day. Unbeatable Kemp, it wouldn't have mattered if I was going on 24 hours with no sleep. A win like that really puts a bounce in your step, eh?
Always, if you win the last one, boy, it makes for a late.
Tough to get to bed, eh? Tough to get to bed.
But if you win the first one, then you're last in the last.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No, nothing matters.
You don't go home feeling very good about yourself, right?
No. So, Unbeatable Kemp was the winner. Massive Profit. So the colt that, I don't know if you watch many of the races, Mario had a colt here for us, a Muscle Massive colt. He was second in 53-2 tonight, trotted 54 flat, raced great. Blue Bayou Dio was a winner tonight earlier in the card for James. She raced great. I was a little disappointed with our trot filly in the first, but the favorite was on the front, made a break, Sylvain and that maiden. And then James inherited the front, and that probably was the first time that filly had ever been in the front in her life.
Right.
Nice filly, but probably should have won, but anyway, I think she just got lost on the front end. Finished fourth, trotted 59, 58-4 or something. And then, obviously, we had Dustin earlier on. And Patrick the Piranha. So back has our pacer. Remember that pacer that we bought for all the money back in the...
Yeah.
So anyway, sent him down there. He's got 3 wins in a second. He went in 50-3 twice for Rangers driving him. And got away last out of an 8-horse field. He was assigned the 8-hole today. Closed and finished second in 50-4.
I told you that was the best kept secret in the world.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. When you can get in. I think they got. I think they started off with short entries, but I don't know if they still do or not. We sent another trotter down to Beckwith. He made a break in Saratoga. I don't know if he's going to enter him there. We have 3 there with him right now. We didn't have a lot of luck with Mark last year, and just a super nice guy. You knew his dad and everything, right?
Mark and his dad and his grandfather.
Yeah.
And his uncles.
Yeah, really nice guy and a good horseman. I got a 2-year-old we qualified yesterday at Grand River that I'm going to send down there to him also to race at Saratoga as first start.
Brett starts back driving soon, or is he back?
Yeah, you know what? I talked to Mark about him. So we're talking about Mark's son, Brett Beckwith, broke his wrist in a race, and he actually, unlike me, if you guys remember, I had pins put in mine, but they plated and screwed his.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the downtime's a little longer. But obviously, I think in the long run, it's the best way to go. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I don't think he starts back till July. That month sticks in my head for some reason. So he has this Patrick the Piranha for us, and he was really, really good. That colt that I just won with, and the filly that won earlier on the card is going to Kentucky. They fit races in Kentucky on the 26th of June. We have a couple of 2-year-olds that are going to be ready to go to Kentucky the 26th of June. We have a filly qualifying tomorrow, one of our best horses. And I haven't told everybody all the calendars. I'm waiting to see how they look. But it's laid right on top of New Jersey. You can go to one or the other, not both.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to go to Kentucky with her, to be honest. They go for 25, 25, 25, 100, I think. Whereas New Jersey is 30? No, 30, 30, 30, 150.
Yeah.
So, it's 2 or 3 legs, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think Una Madonna is going to be heading to Kentucky because after that, she's also New Jersey, Kentucky eligible, so she could stay right in Kentucky for the incentive series down there. And then if she's really good, obviously the Grand Circuit is there also. She wouldn't come back up until potentially the Breeders' Crown. So this is, we have, well, you saw them, but we have by far the deepest group I've ever had in my life. And if you remember the open house day, those 2 trotters at the end of the day there, the one colt's qualifying, both those colts are qualifying Saturday. James is going with both of them. And we got a filly, we got Alarm Detector's sister qualifying tomorrow, and I'm telling you, she can absolutely rock.
Really?
Yeah. We have like 5, 6, 7 of them that I think are as good or better than any horses I've ever had, at least at this point. You can never tell, obviously, until you get to behind the gate, but I was telling everybody today, we had a colt that trained down very mediocre at Tamiko, made a lot of breaks, a lot of mistakes, wasn't really that good. Got him over to Northfield Park, qualified him today. I don't know what get into him. I hadn't gone with him in a long time. He had the 7-hole, crossed over to the front, half and 1 mile and 59-3 last quarter, 28-3 with hood and earplugs in his ears.
I always said they stop lying once you put them behind the gate.
Yeah, it's a good saying. Yeah, no, that's 100% correct. And it's just a super exciting time of the year for everybody, you know. And this year especially, we built such a good rapport with our clients that we had bought a lot of really good overnight horses and trotters over the last little while, and it's made the winter all that much better. And
gives owners interest year round, right?
It does, but you know, and I talked to the Meadowlands about this, and Indiana and a lot of places, and Mark Weaver and I had gone back and forth about this. I still don't believe if you're going to build a fractional ownership stable and start to bring people into the game, that racehorses is the way to go, because they don't build any roots, right? If they have a bad experience, especially in the day and age of social media, if they have a bad experience, it's not just their bad experience; it's all their friends' bad experiences. So, you know, if we buy a yearling that doesn't turn out, by the time that yearling doesn't turn out, people out there, the people watching this, our clients or the people that are new to the game, they understand why. If you bring them all the information, explain to them how the horse is training down and what your hopes are and expectations are, and obviously sprinkle in the reality of the situation is that everybody else is in the same boat, right? It just makes for an easier way for people to, as I said, build roots in this game, and they end up falling in love with the game the same way we did. You know, when we grew up, I'm sure you grew up the same way I did, where, you know, you just hope to buy some broke down horse when you're a kid that you can rub on and get sound and win races with. It never works out that way.
I did about my first horse, $300.
Yeah.
Raced him 4 times.
What was his name?
Matt Hanover.
Matt Hanover?
Matt Hanover,
yeah.
He was a real good bred horse, but he was a very good horse.
Yeah.
Raced him 4 times. He won $380.
Yeah.
In 4 starts.
Yeah.
Had 3 wins in the 3rd.
Yeah.
And I sold him for $600 cash. And I remember going to my uncle was a starter to race the exhibition in Halifax, and these guys from Newfoundland come down and said, "Would you take $600 for him?" So I said, I don't know, I was 15 or 16, so I said, let me ask my uncle. So I went down. Art was in the back of the gate. And I said, I told him they offered me $600 for him. I said, what should I do? He said, how long would it take you to save $600 working for me?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was my first experience.
And people don't realize, like, that's the same when I was a kid, right? Mark and I bought our first horses and raced against, you know, they raced against each other once in a while. My first horse was a horse named Dusty Lane Time. I brought off Ernest, forget the gentleman's name. I was 15, 14 years old, and Mark had a horse named Jim Bob Skipper.
Right.
They were a good pair, I'll tell you one thing. The horses we had back then, you know, you just wanted to be involved in racing, though, right? You just wanted to have your horse. That's your horse. Yeah. And you just fall in love with the game in such a different way than the people that get into it these days. And if there was any way to duplicate the feeling that I had when I was a kid, or probably the same one that you had when you were a kid, that's what gets people involved with this game forever. And it isn't the racing; it's the whole point that that's your horse, right?
That's the horse, yeah.
And that's it. And I think that people understand that better when they get involved with babies.
Yeah.
Right? And then, sure, you can transition to a racehorse once you understand that, you know, with that horse I just mentioned, Dustin Hanover, we bought that horse for $45,000 3 weeks ago. He's not worth that right now. But I think somewhere inside that horse is a good horse, and it's so hard to buy a good horse. Okay, it might take a little while, but we'll get there. Yeah. And the horse that we bought off Ben this year, the Patrick horse, and even Patrick the Piranha, there's some of those horses that don't turn out, but if you keep trying to buy good horses, people understand what we're trying to do here.
We had, you know, I owned a piece of a horse that raced at the Meadowlands, an Australian horse last year. He won a couple opens there, and he won a series there, and made $120,000. We paid $40,000 for him, and then we took that money and bought another one for $60,000.
Yeah.
Well, the one we gave $40,000 for made $120,000 or $120,000, whatever he made. He got claimed for $42,000, but the one we gave $60,000 for, he made $18,000. He got claimed for $30,000.
Yeah.
So it's a wash.
Right? And people understand that. You know, they understand that we're trying to build a good stable, and there's going to be horses come along that aren't as good as we hope them to be, and there's going to be some horses that take a little longer. And truthfully, there's going to be some horses that are no good.
Yeah.
But that's what building a stable is all about. And I think that a lot of our clients that got involved with us and see the scope of what we're doing, they're involved with a lot of horses right now, and they understand that it's a pretty big ship. And we're trying to do the best we can to to sail it down a pretty tough stream.
Well, you when you're doing that too, you're cutting your losses. If you bought one horse for 100, then he goes lame or whatever, then you're done. But if you own a piece of 8 or 10, then you're still getting interest, right?
And that goes back to the entire affordability angle of the stable. You can own one piece of one, you can own pieces of a lot, you can own big chunks of some, but everybody has the opportunity to do it in an affordable manner. And it just seems like, Roger at Houston interviewed me in Ohio yesterday just for the babies and stuff, and he had said he owns a couple of horses with us.
Yeah, I know that.
And he said, it's so cool what you do, and there's a lot of people that are trying to copy what you're doing. And I said, well, I don't think most people are trying to truly copy what we're doing. Everybody wants to bring owners in and race right now, and I'd rather just have babies and have a good time with our clients. Like, I'll guarantee you one thing. This video, we're making it right now, 10:32, okay?
Yeah.
You get up in the morning, you go on YouTube.
Right.
And if you can't, you get Kathy to go on YouTube for you.
Right.
You go to our channel, and I guarantee you there's 300 views of this video in the morning.
Really?
Because our clients want the content. I made 2 videos today. I made a video about the babies when I left Ohio. I made a video about leaving the Meadows and racing at the Meadows and trying to get to Ontario on time. And now making the video as I leave Mohawk tonight. It takes a couple of minutes, but
Well, there's the point, and I say all the time. I said, what you do, everybody has the opportunity to do it.
sure they do.
It's work. It's a lot of work.
But it isn't. Look, we just had a 15-minute drive home.
So
right?
it's not for you, but some people, they think it's work. They don't, maybe they're not as savvy.
Those are the
with
people,
IT.
though. Those are the people that'll get up and clean 20 stalls if they had to, though.
Yeah.
It's not that they're lazy.
No.
They just don't understand that the work that we're putting in right here is every bit as important as putting the horses away properly, putting them putting them on the hose and tubbing their feet. No one cares if you don't have anybody to share it with.
Well, years ago, when people were always, they said Del Miller, he was the greatest communicator with people. And he was a great ambassador for the sport and brought a lot of good people into it.
Yep.
But they said all winter, every 2 weeks, you got a letter from him. Back in those days, the real snail mail, on how your colt was doing.
Yep.
And stayed in touch with everybody. But nobody did that probably back in those days.
That's all anybody wants.
Yeah.
Now it's different now in this day and age. They can find out right now.
Yeah.
How was Unbeatable Kemp tonight? What did I think of him? I thought the horse was great. He was off 3 weeks. I really thought going into the race, I was planning on going out of there with him. I thought that James knows that Unbeatable Kemp's no good on the front. If he sees me land on the front, you don't have to guess who's coming.
Yeah.
Right? It's him.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm going to go to the front. James is going to float out, keep going. I'm going to sit in the 2-hole behind James. And if the colt's tight enough, I'll get him. And if he's not, I'm second.
Yeah.
And that's how I saw the race going. Instead, I feed James the 3-hole going into the first turn, hoping that he doesn't move, but he did. Dougie played hardball in the front. It worked out great. And when I called on Unbeatable Kemp at that lane, the horse trotted his ass off all the way down the lane, right through the wire.
It's the old saying, you try to be fourth, you win. Sometimes you try to win, you're fourth. Right?
Yeah.
But you don't know which time that's going to work.
No. But I mean, our clients, I guarantee you, love the fact that they know what I feel about the horse. And the thing about the stable, and people don't get this, maybe you do now because you met some of them, but the thing about the stable people don't get is it's the being a part of something that matters, right? When people watch this video tonight and go to bed, they know they're a part of my family. They're a part of, you don't know how many people message me to say happy anniversary, right? Or message Amy. People enjoy being a part of.
The times we did the show at the farm when people were there, not so much the last couple, but they come in and visit with you. I never knew what horse they owned. They never talked about their horse.
No.
They just want to be there.
Because they want to be a part of the stable. And I didn't mean it to be like that, but it's the coolest part of what we do. The most important and coolest part of what we do is being there for our clients and bringing them content and making them feel like they're a part of this. Because truthfully, I tell them all the time, I know maybe they just think it's a salesman in me, but without them, there is no Patrick DePerano, there's no Unbeatable Kemp, there's no Dustin Hanover in the Meadows, there's nothing. There's just a few horses and a bunch of people watching them go around the track.
See, and it's different when I had 4 of us, owners.
Yep.
And they all want to claim horses, buy horses.
Yep.
Well, who do you claim for? This guy, that guy, you don't know.
Yep.
So I said, well, let's get together and put a stable together. So we did. We put up X amount of dollars.
Yep.
And we're buying horses, claiming horses. Pretty soon, well, this guy didn't like that guy, and that guy didn't like this guy. Now I'm done. So one of them passed away. So we dispersed those horses that we owned and split the money up and said, okay, maybe just 3 of us do it. No, I don't want to do it. I'd rather do it by myself.
Yeah.
So it was different. I don't know why, but it was just different.
And it's the old thing too. I think if you have a little bit of luck, you're like the guy that bet $5 to win on a horse and he won.
Yeah.
You don't leave, if you're a real sick gambler, you don't leave saying, my God, that worked out great.
Yeah,
the first thought into your head's the same one every time.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have bet 10 on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same as me, you know. We like Unbeatable Camp. I think Amy, because Amy and I loved that horse when we bought him as a baby. Amy has like 15% of them, right?
Right.
Well, when the horse races, it's not, it's like, I wish we had all of them. I wish I don't have of them. But it's great experiencing this. I guarantee when we stop this video, if I go in and look, there's 30 messages in there from people that are, hey, congratulations on the horse. Because our clients cheer for our clients.
Yeah,
right? It's just massive community.
They do. I've been in the grandstand when you were racing horses with a couple of people that were in the SBOA one with me.
Yeah.
That got some horses with you now.
Yeah.
They're there. I said, you racing something? No, but so-and-so's racing. I just went down. They drive all the way from Cambridge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it didn't matter where. I wasn't going to come, but so-and-so's got a piece of this one here and that one. They drive over to watch it.
But I mean, this is part and parcel of that, right? The reason people feel like they're a part of it. Like even when my son plays baseball, hey, good luck to Ollie this weekend in that tournament.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Somebody heard me mention in a video that Ollie was playing in a tournament, and hey, good luck with your kid, right?
Yeah.
It's just a great feeling. It's like you're surrounded by happy people all the time, and the people that get in for the right reasons are the happiest all the time, always. Right here, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys know Billy O'Donnell, Hall of Famer. Are you in Clinton?
Yeah. I'm an autograph signer.
But you're not driving?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
My future's in the past.
Well, that's mine too. I'm only 45, and it's about me. Which way now? Straight?
Straight, yeah, go right up to the circle.
So, Hall of Famer Billy O'Donnell at the track tonight, and we put him on the spot driving home.
With no car.
What happened there?
Well, my transmission went. My wife's car is not home, she's away, and I got no car.
Oh, that's the way it is.
But I can't, I got one, you can't rent them, there's no cars.
No. Are you going to qualifiers tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Well, if you were, I'd be happy to pick you.
That's why I went down tonight. I want to put some signs up and stuff.
Well, I just live over there, so anytime you want to go down, just ask.
We're close to sponsoring the, like breakfast for
Oh, yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, we got a lot of clients asking, are they televising? They're going to televise. I said, yes, they are. You know, it was pretty cool. Last year, I paid. Not many people knew this. I paid to have the qualifiers broadcast. Curtis did them remotely from Northfield Park last year, and we qualified all those babies.
Yeah.
And this year, Northfield Park put it on themselves, and they did a good job, and I was really appreciative of that, too.
We did the same thing with COSA when we did the Facebook show for the babies a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then the next year they're doing it, so there's no sense in both of us doing it, right? So it's redundant, but make it right.
Ah, right.
But we'll do whatever we can, and some of the other ones around. So I think that Facebook show, and
it's great.
It wasn't my idea, but I mean, I think it's changed things a lot.
It is.
I mean,
I watch it all the time.
Even this year, YouTube, but you being on here or Facebook, it's a change. People
need. If you think about it, like I finally get rid of Bell Express View for the most part, because everybody watches apps on their smart TV, right? Where are we at? Right here?
Yeah, 21.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you're 100% right. It's changed how people look at their content. As I said, mark my words. You get up tomorrow, there'll be 300 people watch this video.
Really? Eh?
Yep. Anyway,
maybe more now with me on there.
Once I tell them Billy O'Donnell's here. Anyway, you have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Take care. You guys have a good night too. It was a good night, worth every mile, every hour, getting back on time to drive Unbeatable Kemp. Amy, big smile on her face. Obviously, a big muddy smile on my face. Unfortunately, a little frowny face on James. Take care, everybody.